Greetings, YouTube. I touched on the offers today a few hours ago, but since then I've checked my messages, and big shout out to several people, but especially Mr. Dods the Destroyer, who got me two different screenshots to talk about. So, as I touched on, it really is the case that Cavalier players on these days have a better Tier 5 basic deal than Thronebreakers. That's just not arguable. Uh, this is the equivalent of 15 US dollars for a Tier 5 basic, or 45,000 Tier 5 basic Callus fragments. And for Thronebreakers, it would cost $45, because if we get the limit 3 of all 3 Tier 6 basic Callus fragment offers, you get 1. Because, of course, 15,000 times 3 is 45,000, which is the equivalent of this. Now, obviously, there's no Tier 6 basic in this, and they don't give you the gold. It is a little confusing that they wouldn't give you 150,000 gold, because this is, again, the equivalent of $15 from what this currency is that was sent over. But at the same time, like, if you're desperate for Tier 5 basics, it's a much better guaranteed offer for Cavalier players than most offers. I will remind you, though, that even Cavalier players have a really good opportunity to get free Tier 5 basic Callus fragments via the Glory Store, assuming you're in an Alliance and you do at least map 5 of Alliance Quest. So I would just encourage you to think about that if you're tempted to spend some cash and you maybe don't want to. So that is the Cavalier offer, but the Uncollected offer for just $5 less is brutal. This is the Uncollected offer, and don't let the currency trouble you. It's the equivalent of $10. That is $10 for 2 Tier 4 basic. 2 Tier 4 basic for $10. Now, some of you hate doing the arena, and we have the Tier 4 basic Catalyst arena that has come back into the game recently on its cycle. And so you might think to yourself, I don't want to do that. $10 to get the equivalent of skipping 2 million points worth of the arena? That sounds good to me. Remember, deals are really a debate depending on how much you make, if you make anything at all. That's part of why we have so many free-to-play players, right? You don't make enough, or you don't make anything monetarily to spend on the game, and if you do, you certainly can't justify the expense. And I would never want people to play the Marvel Casino of Champions on a credit card that they couldn't pay off. That is like drawing money out of an ATM that isn't full. So free-to-play players make perfect sense. You want to talk about something that's cheap in the Glory Store, though? My goodness. Even if you're Uncollected, you can get Tier 4 Basic for next to nothing now in the Glory Store with all the buffs to that store since the last 2 years it was buffed. I think it's been buffed like 2 or 3 times in the last 2 years. So, yeah, Kabam is trying to rip off these Uncollected players. Cavalier players actually, in some ways, have the best offer on these days, and Thronebreaker, it really is just trying to milk the whales for their super thirst for one of the 2 rarest items in the game, besides 6-star Awakening Gems, I guess. And that would be the Tier 6 basic Catalyst fragments. Of course, the other rare item that you need to take a 6-star to rank 4 is Tier 3 Alpha Catalyst fragments. So, there you have it. I wanted to keep this video under 5 minutes, and thankfully we have done just that, but I wanted to get an update on why Uncollected players were getting ripped off. Sorry I wasn't able to post this before now. Hopefully some of you who are getting ripped off didn't already, swipe the credit card, because that's why I do these videos more than anything. It's to help players realize that they shouldn't spend cash when it's a bad offer. Just, if you don't want to do the arena grind, go for the Glory Store. But really, Tier 4 Basic are so plentiful, even for Uncollected players now, that it shouldn't be something you spend cash on. Save your money. It's much better to get 2 months of the unit $5 monthly card than 2 of those months versus 1 of these. Have a good one, YouTube. Thanks for watching.